So in today's video, I will be talking about how last month in August for my own lead generation agency, how I booked 93 sales calls and made $63,000 in cash, $63,155 in cash, right? So here's actually a screenshot of my agency's Stripe processor, payment processor, where we collected $63,155 from August 1st to August 31st for my own lead generation agency. So not for my consulting business, for my own lead generation agency. And how we were able to generate these 93 sales calls was we primarily used two client acquisition channels to do that. The first is my own YouTube channel, so where you're watching this video right now. And the second is my own cold email campaigns, where I'm cold emailing B2B businesses to see if they're interested in potentially working with me. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this is just super important, because most people who run a business, who run a lead generation agency, their main bottleneck, especially if they're under $10,000 per month, is generating leads and generating sales calls, right? So just to give you a little bit more proof, I pulled open my calendar for last month. So this is actually, as you can see, it's my agency's email. So to be completely transparent, I don't take my own sales calls anymore. It's just simply not the best use of my time. I stopped taking sales calls when my own agency was around 30 to 40K per month. But all of these green things on the calendar, these are actually sales calls that my salesperson took for me, right? So second week of August, third week of August, fourth week of August, or this is the fourth week of August. And as you can see, we just booked a ton of sales calls, right? Obviously, these are sales calls with businesses where my salesperson, my sales team jumped on, talked with them, see if they have a problem that we can solve, and made an offer at the end if we do generally believe that we could work with them to help them build out a cold email campaign for their own businesses to help them get more clients, right? So again, the reason I'm sharing this with you today is because if you're under 10K per month, the only thing you need to be thinking about is how to get more sales calls. So if you're generating 3 to 5 sales calls a day, which is literally what we've been able to do at my own lead generation agency, actually more than 3 to 5. But if you think about it, if you are able to generate 3 to 5 sales calls a day, you will literally get clients simply through sheer volume, even if you're not that good at sales. And if you're able to consistently sign clients, what that means is you're gonna have consistent cash flow and you're gonna be consistently making money. And this will literally take care of 90% of your problems, especially if you're under 10 to 15K in your business. Because the biggest problem that people have is when they're first starting their own lead generation agency, let's say they're working towards signing their first client, or they have the first client and they're somewhere between 3 and 5K. A lot of people, they actually get kind of tripped up and start thinking about all these random problems. They start thinking about, oh, how do I deliver the service for clients? How do I hire people? But that actually thinking about those things is not that it's not important, but if you spend too much time thinking about those things, those are kind of the reasons why some people take half a year before they even hit 10K per month. Because if you're spending your time thinking about how to deliver the service for your clients and you don't even have your first client, you don't even have a client to deliver a service to. So it's a poor use of your time to be thinking that far ahead. You should really be thinking about how to deliver the service for your client once you sign your first client, once you have 3 to 5 clients, once you're at 10K per month. But below that point, if you're not at 10K per month yet, the only thing you need to be thinking about is how do you get more sales calls, how do you close more of those sales calls, and how do you sign more clients, which will help you get to that 10K per month, and then start thinking about all these other things once you are at that point. Now, obviously, what I just showed you with my own calendar, I've been running my own agency for around 2 years now. So coming up to October is the 2 year mark. I've sent well over 1 million cold emails. So I'm an extreme example of someone who is an expert at generating sales calls through cold emails, right? So even though I just showed you my calendar, don't expect to be able to do the exact same thing as me, especially if you're first starting out, right? That's just unrealistic expectations. But there's no reason why anyone who's watching this video, if you're watching this video and you're looking to start, or you started sending cold email campaigns, there's no reason why you can't generate at least 3 to 5 sales calls every single week, right? You should be able to do that pretty easily, especially with what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. If you are generating 3 to 5 sales calls a week, you're going to sign at least one client if you're taking 20 sales calls in a single month, right? Just again, sheer volume. Even if you're not that good at sales, you've never taken sales calls before, if you're talking with 20 people, you're probably going to get at least one of those people to bite on your offer to pay you to help them run their cold emails campaigns. So the key question is, how were we actually able to do this? How were we able to generate 93 sales calls for my own agency last month? how were we able to book all of these sales calls? Because the biggest problem that most people have in this space, in the lead generation space, is most people, they're just spamming cold emails, literally, right? They're just sending a bunch of cold emails every single day, praying that it works. They're saying the same things in their cold emails, and they're kind of just taking a spray and pray approach. But what we're doing at my own lead generation agency is we're being very specific in terms of how we send cold emails, and we're actually executing on a strategic approach. And as a result, because of this strategic approach, it makes it easy for us to stand out, especially compared to everyone else who is working with the same group of people who sell a similar type of service. So that's why I'm making this video today, to show you how we're standing out at my own lead generation agency, how we're booking a ton of sales calls, how we're signing a bunch of clients, and how we made $63,000 last month. So jumping right into it, right? This is why most lead generation agencies actually fail, especially when it comes to generating sales calls using cold emails. There are really 4 problems that I was able to narrow down. The first is most lead generation agencies, they lead with the same exact offer as everyone else. So they're essentially saying the same exact thing. The second point is most people, they're actually too lazy to do research to really understand the prospect and really understand why should the prospect care, and an extension of that, why should the prospect even reply back to you. So in other words, you're just not able to be relevant with your messaging because you're just not doing the research. The third point is most people, they just don't have the social proof. Basically, they don't have the proof to show that this actually works. And even if you don't have case studies, there's a very strategic way you can create social proof. And that's mainly by using yourself as a case study. And those are kind of the main reasons why most lead generation agencies fail. Now, on the other hand, how I was able to book 93 sales calls from my own agency was by focusing on 4 things. The first is a focus on the offer. The second is focusing on a hyper relevant message. The third is leading with real actual value. And the fourth is demonstrating undeniable proof that I'm just an expert at cold emails and that I'm an expert at what I do. So I broke it down into these 4 things. That's what we'll be talking about in today's video. The very first thing is a focus on offer. So the problem that most people have, especially when it comes to cold emails, is they're saying the exact same thing to the exact same group of people. And obviously, as a business owner myself, as I'm thinking about it as well, I probably get somewhere between 10 and 20 cold emails every single day from people pitching me like all these random services. And if I open up my email inbox and I get 2 cold emails, I click the first one, I click the second one, and I read them, and they're both saying basically the exact same thing, I'm just not going to reply at all, right? That's the truth. And that's actually what I'm seeing. Most people are just saying the exact same thing. Because what everyone uses is they all say, hey, I can help you book 20 sales calls per month where you only get paid when we get you this result. Or people say, I can help you sign 3 to 5 new clients every single month on a pay per performance basis. Those are kind of the 2 main offers that most people kind of just lead with. And if you are also leading with this same offer, then again, right, you're basically saying the same thing as John or Peter or anyone else who runs a lead generation agency. And while it's important to actually explain what you do and lead with an offer, you need to find a way to be different than everyone else. Otherwise, you will just become commoditized and literally you'll be competing based on pricing. Whoever is able to help the prospect do it for the lowest amount of money, in many cases even free, that's who the prospect will go with. And obviously, you're not going to get to 10K per month doing free work or selling your services for $500, even $1,000. You're not going to get to 10K per month. And if you even get replies and even book sales calls, you're going to struggle to really close people because, again, right, the prospect will look at you as the same as everyone else. So how do you actually lead with an offer without sounding like everyone else? Well, the answer is by creating what's called hyper relevant messaging. Because rather than leading with a generic offer like the ones that we just talked about earlier in this video, like 30 seconds ago, what you want to be doing is you want to be leading with a hyper relevant problem that the prospect is having, that the prospect might have, and you're essentially offering to solve that specific problem for them. Now, in order for this to work, you actually need to be doing research on your prospect inside of your niche. Because most people fail because they get lazy and they actually skip the research process. And this is exactly why just blatantly copying someone's niche might not work for you. because that person that you copied, they actually put in the work. They actually sat there for an hour or 2 hours and actually did the research, while someone who's copying the niche, they obviously didn't do that, right? They see someone succeeding with recruitment agencies or marketing agencies, and they're like, all right, this works, I'm just gonna do that. But they fail to do the background information and understand the specific pain points that a recruitment agency or a marketing agency might have. And this is why when most people message me on Instagram or they comment under this YouTube video, right, or all my other YouTube videos, and they ask me, hey Jim, so is XYZ a good niche? Is recruitment agencies a good niche? Is truck drivers a good niche? What I always reply back to them is I always ask them, did you do research on the niche? If you did do research, then what are the main problems that these people are having? What have they tried before? And what are they mainly doing right now to generate sales calls? That's literally what I reply back to people, because every niche is good. It just comes down to your background information and how you're able to craft relevant messaging. Now, luckily, we can leverage AI and we can leverage ChatGPT to make the research process much more efficient. So let me show you how this works. So what you want to do is head over to ChatGPT, and what I'm going to show you is how to conduct your research process using the help of AI. So here's actually a prompt. You can pause this video and read through the prompt or copy it, whatever the case is. But essentially, this is what you want to say inside ChatGPT. You are a cold email expert that runs a lead generation agency that helps. This would be your niche that you would put in. I use B2B marketing agencies for this example. I help B2B marketing agencies sign more clients using cold emails. We are looking for product market fit and understanding how marketing agencies can benefit from using cold emails. Please answer the following questions. Number 1, how do marketing agencies benefit from cold emails? Number 2, what problems or pain points do marketing agencies have that's relevant to cold emails? Number 3, what potential advantages do marketing agencies have on this specific offer? And number 4, what specific results would marketing agencies want from this offer? So you want to use a prompt similar to this to really ask it very specific questions, and ChatGPT is going to give you really good answers, and it's going to give you new insights as to what are the problems that your target niche is currently having. So for example, here's the answer. Marketing agencies, they're looking for consistent lead flow, right? They're looking for scalable outreach. They're looking for something with a high return on investment, reducing the dependency on referrals, right? These are literally massive pain points that marketing agencies have. So what problems do they solve, right? Cold emails will solve inconsistent client acquisition. It will save them time from prospecting. It will help reduce client turnover, and it will, if you're doing it correctly, it will increase the lead quality that marketing agencies are actually chatting with as well. Number 3, what potential advantages do they have, right? These are some of the answers. And obviously number 4, these are also some more answers. You could go and put your own prompt with your own niche and see what ChatGPT gives you and read through all of this in detail and think about how you can leverage that as part of your cold email messaging. So now, by using ChatGPT, again, right, you're able to streamline the process of research, but you still want to be doing research outside of ChatGPT. So for example, you want to be joining communities where your prospects are in. There's communities for literally every single industry. You will find a community for your industry if you look hard enough. You want to be watching video breakdowns. So literally just go on YouTube, search up, how do I start a trucking company if that's your niche? How do I start a marketing agency? Watch through some of those videos and understand how the business model actually works. And you also want to be talking with your niche, and you're able to do that if you're generating sales calls and you're just asking questions on the actual sales call. And they'll also give you more background insights and more background information as to what your niche is struggling with. But the main idea for why you need to be doing research is you need to be understanding specific problems that people are having and leading with that in your actual cold email messaging. So for example, here is an example. Let's say someone has YouTube growth services. They're partnering up with people who make YouTube videos to increase their subscribers, increase their views. For me, I make YouTube videos that get somewhere between 500 and 2.5K views on average per video. That's just how many views I get. If someone was trying to sell me YouTube growth services, a really effective way to outreach to me would be saying something along the lines of, hey Jim, I saw that most of your videos get between 500 and 2.5K views. A similar size creator in the same niche as you gets between 5 and 10K views on average by using our unique mechanism. So if someone led with that messaging, it would work really, really well. And the reason why is because that person is leading with a very specific problem, which in my case is a low amount of views, and they're leading with a very specific solution, which is how by using a specific unique mechanism, the YouTube growth services, someone else that's similar to me was able to achieve a much greater result. And that's exactly how you want to be positioning specific problems of people inside of your niche and how you want to be positioning the specific solution to solve that problem, right? So use ChatGPT to understand specific problems and position your services as the specific solution. And that's what I have done inside of my own cold email campaigns, in my own cold email messaging. And because of this, I'm able to lead with a hyper relevant message. So I'm not leading with, hey, we can help you book 5 to 20 sales calls every single month. That's not the offer that I'm leading with. I'm leading with a very specific problem that, let's say, marketing agencies are having, and I'm offering to solve that solution for them by using my unique mechanism. That's the big idea of how this works. And that leads me to the next point, which is the key to making all of this work, this entire strategy work, is you actually need to be leading with real value. You need to be presenting a solution to a specific problem that you literally outlined in your cold emails. You're essentially telling someone what the problem they're having is, what is the problem that they're facing, and you're offering a specific solution upfront. So again, back to the example of the YouTube growth services. After telling me the problem that I have, which is I'm struggling with getting low views, and presenting a specific solution, which is someone else is getting more views by using a unique mechanism, the next step is presenting how someone can figure out the solution. So pretty simple, you can literally say, I put together a quick video walking you through how they were able to achieve this, how they were able to get this result. Now the key is the video you send to the prospect, the video that the prospect actually watches, it genuinely needs to be valuable. Because if someone clicks to watch the video and it's like legit random BS, or it's not actually valuable and it's just kind of like a garbage video, this strategy will not work. In fact, you shouldn't even use this strategy at all, because you're going to be messing with your own brand image, because someone's going to watch a video and be like, this person is spewing nothing but garbage out of their mouth and they just wasted 20 minutes of my life. So you need to be making sure your video is actually valuable. But if you do have a valuable video, it will accomplish 3 things for you. The first is you're going to be talking about the problem that the prospect is having. You're going to be talking about that in more detail than obviously what you're saying in your cold emails. The second point is you're going to be talking about the specific solution to that problem. And the third thing you're going to accomplish is you're going to end up selling the prospect on your service. So I like to call these videos video sales letters, right? It's a video that sells your service. It's an evergreen video where you film it one time, you put it up on YouTube, or at least I like to put my VSLs up on YouTube, and I send it to prospects over and over and over again until they're ready to move forward. They could watch the video at their own time and all of that stuff. And inside of a video sales letter, you are indirectly selling your services through a pre-recorded video that is just filled with straight value. And understand that people are just very skeptical these days. And if you make a video that is literally just a straight pitch on your service, like an elevator sales pitch type of style, it just won't be that effective, because I actually tried a video like this before, right? And it just won't be effective, because what you're doing by just making a pitch styled video is you are just asking for something before you give people something, right? So that give and take rule is very unbalanced if you're just making a straight pitch video. So a really good example to really nail home this idea is just pause this video right now and just think about someone you know in your life who every time they talk to you, every time they message you, they're literally asking you for something, right? Every single time they reach out to you, they're just asking you to give them something, asking you a question, but they never give you something back in return. That feeling, it doesn't feel very good, right? And that's exactly what's happening if you're just making a straight pitch styled video. You need to be giving value up front, and then once people feel like that you've actually given them something valuable, when you do make an ask, which in this case is to book a sales call, people will be way more receptive to actually taking you up on your offer. So again, you're giving them something up front, which is value, and by doing this, prospects will realize they have a problem and there's actually a solution to the problem that they're facing. But while doing this, you will also be positioning yourself as an expert, because you're actually giving them new insights about the problem, and prospects will want to work with you to implement this for them. So as you create your own VSLs, your own video sales letters, before you post it, before you send it to people, actually ask yourself, is what you are talking about in the video, is it actually valuable? Does it actually give new insights, or is it just cookie cutter information that people could literally figure out on their own from a quick 10-second Google search? Because if it's the second one, then you need to go back and remake that video sales letter to make it genuinely valuable. Now, the final point is demonstrating undeniable proof that I'm an expert. Now, one of the reasons why this strategy that I'm literally outlining in this video, why it works extremely well, is because you don't necessarily need case studies to demonstrate that you're an expert and that you know what you're talking about. Now, of course, if you do have case studies, it will further enhance your credibility, but the sheer fact that you're giving valuable information up front will already position yourself as an expert in your field. So let me give you an example of how this works or how this played out in real life. So last month, I actually bought a new car. This is a picture of my car. This is a picture of me when I first picked up the car. And when I first bought the car, I just didn't know that much about the best way, the proper strategies to actually clean my car, to wash it, to maintain it. It's not as simple as just spraying some water and some soap onto the car and calling it a day, because you're gonna leave scratches, you're gonna leave different marks on your car, things like that. But what actually happened is I know a few people, I have a few friends who actually, they know how to clean cars. They clean their own cars and they know the best way to clean a car without leaving scratches or how to maintain the paint. So when I first went for car washes with them, they would always just give me useful tips, useful tricks, tell me to do this. Hey, Jimmy, you want to wash your car like this? And because the tips and tricks that they actually gave me, they're actually valuable and they actually work, they're now positioned in my mind as car washing experts, right? So whenever I have any questions, I would literally just ask them first because I see them as the expert at cleaning cars. And they didn't need to tell me case studies, right? Oh, I recently cleaned this car and this other person's car. They didn't need to do that stuff, right? The sheer fact that they were able to just give me valuable tips and tricks already positioned them as experts in my mind. And the same exact concept applies to your own video sales letters, where if you're actually giving valuable information, you will be positioned by default as an expert inside your prospect's mind. Now, one of the reasons why starting a lead generation agency is why I feel is the best business model for beginners is because you can literally use yourself as a case study as you launch your first cold email campaign, as you start getting replies, and as you start booking meetings and sign clients for yourself. Because if you think about it, you're literally using cold emails for yourself, and then you're helping your clients implement a similar cold email system. So you can literally make a video sales letter, talk about yourself, talk about how you were able to set up the cold email system, how you were able to scrape leads, how you were able to book, sales calls using your old cold emails. Talk about a specific problem that you literally faced as you are going through the process and explain how you figured out the solution to that problem and how you were able to solve it for yourself. So as an example, hint, hint, if you think about this very video right now, this is technically an example of what I'm talking about. This video solves a very specific problem, which is people who are struggling with booking sales calls using cold emails. That's the problem that this video solves. I'm presenting a solution, which is obviously this overall strategy of what I'm talking about in this video. And if you think about it, I haven't used any case studies of other people so far. I have a ton of case studies, but I chose on purpose not to use any of those case studies. And what I'm doing is I'm using myself as an example of how I was able to solve this problem for myself. And now I'm teaching it to other people, right? I did that on purpose. I could have just slapped 30 case studies on this because I literally have so many case studies, but I purposely chose not to, just so that you can see how this looks in practice. So just think about what I said for a second. This video is a real life example of what I'm talking about, of how I'm explaining how I was able to do a very specific thing and how other people are able to implement this strategy and do the exact same thing. Just think about that for a second. Now, the last point is how I actually executed on this strategy last month. So again, I'm describing the strategy that I used at my own lead generation agency last month in August. And I'm not going to tell you which specific YouTube videos I used to do this, but if you just go onto my YouTube, and you just align the dates and things like that, you could probably figure out which one of these videos I used to actually implement this strategy, right? You could probably figure out yourself. Now, for your own business, for your own lead generation agency, if you execute the strategy that I shared with you today, you will 100% get significantly better results with booking sales calls for your own lead generation agency and you will sign more clients. And the reason why is because you're being different from everyone else. You're not leading with the same exact messaging. You're leading with something that's actually valuable, that solves a real problem that people are having. So that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. If you like this video, make sure you drop me a like, make sure you drop me a subscribe. The first link in the description is a video that I put together that goes in depth, step by step, of how you can actually start your own lead generation agency. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes long, something like that, because it goes step by step. And if you do want to work with me to start your own lead generation agency and get to $10,000 per month in the next 90 days, in the next 3 months, then the second link is a link to set up a time to chat with me to see if that, to see if I could even help you in the first place. But again, hope you found this video valuable. If you did, again, make sure you drop me a like, make sure you drop me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.